My underdog for the 2022 World Cup is Serbia. And wow, I think they can make an argument for having the best 11 at the whole tournament. Both Milinkovic-Savic's. You've got Mitrovic and Vlahovic. Dusan Tadic behind them. I mean, wow. And then Milenkovic, who was wanted by Tottenham a few years ago. What a squad. What a lineup.
I don't know how much of an underdog they are classed as, but my underdog are Uruguay. I think that team is outstanding. Perfect balance going forward. Brilliant defence. They're going to go far, I think.
So my underdog for the Qatar 2022 World Cup is going to be Ghana. They're the lowest ranked side in the tournament, ranking at 61st. And as you'll have noticed, they've got Uruguay in the group. And if you remember back in 2010, Uruguay caused Ghana fans heartbreak when Luis Suarez handballed off the line and sent them crashing out of the tournament. I think this year they can get revenge and qualify out of that group.
Yeah, no, for my manager, I reckon it'll be Louis van Gaal's army. I think he's going to rectify what he did at Manchester United and take Netherlands all the way.
My manager, I've gone with Dragan Stojkovic, who is the manager of Serbia. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. It's quite a difficult one. However, I think he's a brilliant gaffer. I think the Serbian team is outstanding and they could really make some damage.
My chosen manager for this tournament will be Lionel Scaloni. Argentina have been nicknamed La Scaloneta recently due to the amazing job that he's been doing. Argentina are currently on a 35-game unbeaten run, and that is why my manager is Lionel Scaloni.
The manager of the tournament, well, I'm going to award it to Gareth Southgate. I think him and his England squad have what it takes to potentially go all the way. I think we'll see a Southgate masterclass this World Cup. And mark my words, it's coming home.
Golden boy, I think, is going to be Josep Vardiol from Leipzig for Croatia. Standing at 20 years old, having an incredible season as well with Leipzig at the minute. And though Croatia might not go as far at the tournament, I think he's going to be a real shining star if they do.
My golden boy is Jamal Musiala. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal talent. The guy is fantastic on the ball. He's so creative. He plays with this elegance and flair that I adore. And I really, really wish he played for England.
For the golden boy, I think it will be none other than England's very own Jude Bellingham. He's been tearing it up in the Bundesliga this year, so I think he's in for a great shout for this award.
Biggest flop, I think, is going to be England. I think the way it is, their group is easy, but we've seen them be poor before, and if they come second, they're going to beat Holland in the round of 16, and I don't think they're going to have enough. I think Southgate, there's been so much pressure on him before this tournament, I think he's just going to crumble when it means something.
The flop, I've gone for Belgium, the Red Devils. I think they've got a really strong team. However, I don't think Martinez has ever had them playing the way they could be, and they've got a very, very difficult run.
My flop for Qatar is going to be France. Now, as much as Wrighty doesn't like the sound of that, I just feel like there's far too many egos involved in that France squad. A similar situation to Argentina in the past in a way where they've got that many good players. It's hard to find a system to fit them all in. And with the images coming out of Christopher Nkunku's injury, I felt that's a huge blow for the French. I can't see them doing it this year, unfortunately. I think they'll bow out very early on in the tournament.
The biggest flop of the tournament, I believe, will be Senegal. Now, unfortunately, they've just lost their leader, their captain, Sadio Mane. But after becoming AFCON champions recently, I think they won't be able to cope without the main man. For that reason, I think they'll be the flop this tournament.
Golden Glove, I'd say, is going to go to Alisson, assuming he starts for Brazil, as he has been for the past. I think he's probably the best goalkeeper at the tournament, and he'll get the Golden Glove.
Goalkeeper, I've gone with Alisson. I see no way that he won't win the Golden Glove if Brazil can get as far as I think they will do in this tournament. He's playing behind an outstanding defence, and I really do think they'll get a lot clean.
For the Golden Glove, I'm going to go with my man, Alisson. I think he is the best goalkeeper in the world by far, and this tournament will solidify that.
For the Golden Glove choice, I've gone for Thibaut Courtois. I believe he's the best goalkeeper in the world at this moment in time. He was phenomenal in the Champions League final last season, so I think he'll carry that form into the World Cup.
Top goal scorer is going to be the Ballon d'Or holder, Karim Benzema.
Goal scorer, I've been to and fro in between a few. There's some names that I really want to put in there that haven't. However, I'm going to go with Kylian Mbappe. I was gonna go Benzema, I was gonna go Vini, I was gonna go Neymar. I could not decide. However, I think Mbappe will score goals. I think he's almost gone under the radar a little bit this year because of how well Haaland's been playing, and there's always this comparison. However, Kylian always performs for France, and I think he'll score goals this year.
For my Golden Boot winner, I am saying the GOAT, Lionel Messi. It's written in the stars. It's there for him. His last World Cup, I think he'll do a brilliant job this year.
I think this year's top goal scorer will be none other than Lionel Messi. I believe that what he will provide for that Argentina squad is a masterclass, and I think this tournament will be all about Lionel Messi.
The finalist is going to be France. And again, a really good side that they are missing Paul Pogba, have so much in terms of depth and background that can come in. And Louis van Gaal is going to bring Netherlands their first World Cup ever, with the likes of Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo, who has more goal contributions than Erling Haaland with 12 goals and 15 assists this season, flanked by the likes of Van Dijk at the back, marshing the boys, and an outside shout as well for a potential golden player at the tournament is Cooper Miners, who I think is a very, very underrated centre midfielder for Atalanta and could be the reason why Netherlands can finally get the big one.
The final of the Qatar 2022 World Cup, I believe, will be France versus Brazil. And I think Brazil will just edge them. I think people have written off France for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's almost as if we've got used to them being really good, and all of a sudden it doesn't mean that they're as good as they actually are. Incredible squad depth, amazing defence, run by Didier Deschamps is a fantastic manager, let's not forget. But I just think Brazil will outclass them just that bit. They've got too much.
My finalist is going to be England. I think they'll make it, but I don't think they'll edge it, unfortunately. So it's still not coming home, but we're going to have a fun time in the process. And for my winner of Qatar 2022, I am going for La Scaloneta, Argentina. It is written in the stars. Lionel Messi, final tournament. He's bringing it home for Argentina. It's going to happen.
Finalists, well, I believe Argentina will be the runners-up in Qatar this year. Like I said earlier, I believe Lionel Messi will make the tournament his own, but I don't think he'll take it that step further. And finally, my winners of the 2022 Qatar World Cup will be England. It's finally coming home. Come on, England. Boom, done.